Today we will learn about SPSS for researchers, students, and other daily activity workers, maybe in office, in different offices. This day's data is very important to handle, so I will go to open SPSS, then we will see the interface. So here is SPSS 20 for data analysis. So these days data management is very important in all fields. Therefore, it is better to have some data analysis methods in different softwares. So one of them is SPSS. So we are going to, so it will ask you this way, then if you close it, no problem. So this is, let's start from the interface of the software. So if you are familiar with the so-called Excel, so it's similar with that of Excel. This row indicates the list of variables, and this this shows the number of cases or the number of subjects under study. Then this is the value of the first variable. This is the value of the second variable, the second, third, fourth, fifth, and so on. Therefore, this is the overall interface. So there are different windows in SPSS. Of those, this is the data view window. This is the data view window, and the variable window is here. So you have to record all the characteristics of the variable in the variable view. So in the variable view, there is name of variables, and here is the type of the variable. If it is numeric, if it is or string or qualitative, then the width of the variable that you have to, then the width of the variable, maybe for example, if you are writing a response or gender, so gender contains a maximum of 5 characters, that's male, female. If we didn't quote, then we will assume that we will consider the 5, at least minimum 5 characters. Then if we are considering numerical variable, then we can put the number of decimals to be after the number of numbers after the decimal. Then the level, here you can write anything you want about the characteristics of or the question of interest in the questionnaire. Then this is the value, then this is the missing value, and then the most important one is you have to categorize the type of the variable, or we have 3 different categories in this case, that is ordinal, nominal, and scale. So the most important thing to know the software is first to know the variables, or what is variable, or what is data. Therefore, variable is simply a character, or variable is simply the aggregate form of the data is simply the aggregate form of the variable, and a variable is simply a characteristic or a name that represents different values for different subjects. So if you have to use some variables, or if you have to create some variables, then let's say, for example, let's say ID. Therefore, ID of the patient, maybe, or the study subject, and we can assign it as numeric or as string. Therefore, let's say if it has different characteristics or characters, we can assume as it is string. Then okay, then the string, the width of the variable, for example, the ID number, if it is around 5 digits or 6 digits or 7 digits, whatever it is, if the maximum digit of the ID number is for example 4, we can make it as 6. Then decimal after the point is inactive because we have considered this as a string variable, because id is a string variable, for example 12 slash h slash something maybe. Okay, then the level is that you can write anything that is in the software, that is identification number of the subject under study, subject under study. Okay, subject under study. Then the values, if you have to code something, then missing, leave it, no problem. Then the most important thing here is, in order to consider the variables for the appropriate or for the proper analysis, we have to categorize this type of, and this is, since it is a name, we can call it as nominal. And the second is gender. Okay, we can create like this, gender. No, sorry, space is not allowed. Space is not allowed. Then gender. Then we can assign it as string. Okay, then the maximum value here is 8. It's okay. So gender of the study subject, okay, what's in, or you can make it in question form. What is the gender of what's the gender of the study subject, or and so on. So leave it this one, and still it is nominal. Okay, so we can go to age, then it is numeric. Then age, we will have the maximum number for age is 2 characters, 2 or 3. If we have 100 years old subject study, then we can make it as 3. Then after decimal, for example, if we have a subject with 22.5 years old, then we will allow it 5 to be 5.250. Then age of individual. Okay, so these are the most important things, because unless we know the characteristics of the variable, we cannot identify the appropriate data analysis method. Okay, then this is scale. That means we explain it in number. Okay, we explain it in number. Of course, we can change this later into categorical variable as far as we get some scientific reason to categorize the age group, okay, from different sources. Okay, then we can add any type of variable. Again, we can add any type of variable, and maybe, okay, other. So in this case, we can also code, if you want to know. Then here we can code this, no, sorry, in this case the value levels we can code as one is male. Okay, we can code it for, this is for the ease of data analysis or data entry method, because we may commit different errors. So that's, in order to minimize this one, we have to code this. Okay, so okay, one as male. Okay, you will click add, and 2 as female, then add. Okay, then this, then okay. So for the time being, these are the this is our questionnaire. So if this is our questionnaire, so we have already coded everything that we want from the questionnaire. No. We mistakenly coded it in the age one. So we will cut this, copy, and then we'll paste here.